What can you do when you cannot go no contact with a narcissist? Various reasons this might happen. You might be co-parenting with somebody who's counter-parenting. It might be a family member where it means cutting off other good family members. It might be down to the career and you can't simply just start a new career. You can, but it's finding the right method for you. There's plenty of reasons why you can't just cut off and go no contact with a narcissist. So then there is a method called the grey rock method. This video is going to be about the grey rock, why it works, why you need to stick to it, how to do it, and how to help you recover from narcissistic abuse. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support. If you are new to the channel, this channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to recover from narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to doing grey rock, first remember, grey rock is not an excuse to not go no contact. If you can find a way to go no contact with a narcissist, this method, no contact, works far better than any other method. So grey rock is not an excuse to avoid doing no contact. When people first hear about grey rock, especially if it's family members, so you're no longer speaking to a certain family member, and when you're at an event where your family's there and you seem like you're being the ignorant one, ignoring somebody, especially as narcissists don't always show their true selves to everybody. So maybe not everybody in your family recognises who that person is. And the narcissist will be smearing your name to everybody. So a lot of people can fear doing it because other people might judge you as being rude or you as being arrogant. When it comes to these people, if these people want to judge you, they are going to judge you no matter what you do. So you might as well do what is right for you. If people want to judge you about who you are, if people want to gossip about who you are, that is their character. That is who they are. So whatever you choose to do, the narcissist will still smear your name to those people, and those people will still talk about you. So let them talk. What they have to say about you is none of your business. Just know that your intentions are coming from a good place. Also, a lot of people can feel mean. They can feel rude, they can feel disrespectful, and they can feel like they themselves are turning into a narcissist by treating a narcissist in a way that some narcissistic people can treat you when they're not getting their needs met. Again, remember the intent behind your actions. With a narcissist, they will not communicate with you. They fall silent on you. They sulk on you because they want to coercively control you to get their needs met. And once their needs have been met, they then go and hurt you all over again. They then offer those intermittent play nice to confuse you as to whether they are your hero, they're a kind, genuine person, or are they your abuser and a manipulative, hurtful person. They are trying to control you in some way. You doing grey rock is not about controlling them. They are entitled to do what they want to do. There is no excuse for abuse, and nobody should abuse another person. You doing grey rock is not to control them, it's to regain control of your own mind and your own life. You doing grey rock is to stop them and no longer allow them to control who you are as a person. And you have every right to be who you want to be. Because let's face it, when we forgive a narcissist and when we give them another chance, what do? They let us down time and time again. And then they somehow gaslight and shift the blame onto it being our fault somehow, so that we forgive them and they let us down again. And then they play nice again, and so we question, was it them, was it us? So we forgive them and they let us down again. It is a repeat pattern of behaviour with these people. The more we forgive them and allow them to treat us that way, the more we are teaching them that it's okay to treat us, not only us, to treat other people in this way. Forgiveness is an individual thing for person to person. I shall link the video for forgiveness up here. Forgiveness is for you. You can also forgive and step away from their games. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to allow them to hurt you or let you down again. Forgiveness is, I accept that's who you are as a person. You're not the kind of person that I want in my life because you're incredibly toxic. So I'm going to go my way and let you go your way. Not saying it to them directly, because they will find a way to use that against you also. By going grey rock, you need to make a decision that it's going to be a permanent thing. And it's tricky and we can slip up at times, but we have to make sure it's a permanent thing so that we're not getting involved in that push-pull again, so that we're stepping out of that push-pull. Going grey rock is to teach ourselves how we will and will not allow other people treat us. If we wouldn't treat somebody in a way that somebody is treating us, we're going to grey rock that person and no longer allow them to treat us that way. They've already proven who they are. We don't need to keep giving them chances to prove that they will keep letting us down. By doing grey rock, we are stepping away from their games and teaching ourselves that we do deserve much better. Because nobody deserves to be treated how a narcissist treats people. There is just no excuse for their behaviour. The narcissist personality disorder can be a reason behind many of their behaviours. It is never to excuse their behaviours. It's to give us an understanding of where they are coming from and what we can do to help ourselves. It's not to criticise them or belittle them or judge them. It's to call them out for who they are as a person so that we can find who we are as a person. And when it comes to a narcissist, they are all about supply. Part of their disorder, part of the characteristics of the disorder is requiring excessive admiration. They feel entitled to exploit people, preoccupied with getting their own needs met, with a lack of empathy to care for other people. That belief that they are superior, so they have that arrogance that they believe everyone should do as they say and not as they do. And so many narcissists, once we step away from their games, once we cut off their supply, many of them will up their games because they've learned that that behaviour works for them. So we are teaching them that that behaviour may work for them with some people, but that behaviour is no longer going to work for them with us. We're not going to tell them directly. We're not going to do the narcissist route of all the words with a narcissist. It's words of manipulation and words of lies and words of deception and words of denial and words of, you get the hint. So when it comes to a narcissist, their words rarely match their actions, which leaves us in that confused state of mind as they promise us one thing and deliver something completely different. We're not going to promise them anything. We're going to promise ourselves that we deserve better. We're not going to tell them what we are doing, because we're not doing it to get them to change who they are as a person. We're doing it to help ourselves. We are teaching ourselves by our actions that we are no longer going to be disrespected by people who want to keep taking advantage of our kindness. And sometimes, especially at the beginning, you have got to watch their pattern of behaviour, become aware of their pattern of behaviour, recognise their pattern of behaviour, so that you can tell yourself, they're projecting that onto me. That's not me, that's not my intention. Sometimes writing down your why, writing down your intent helps, so that when they come at you, you can check in with your own reality. Especially at the beginning, you can check in with your own reality and think, no, I'm not doing it because of that. That's a thought you're trying to plant into my mind so that you can regain control over me. I'm doing it because of what I've wrote down here. This again is not to tell them. This is to get your own reality check for you, especially if you've been isolated from people, or if you're in the family dynamics where a lot of people believe in the narcissist or fawn to the narcissist behaviour and enable them. When you start creating boundaries and going grey rock with a narcissist, they might start coming at you with things like, that's just like you. Not everything's about you. You're so selfish. You're so stuck up. You're so controlling. Please add the rest in the comments. These are the kinds of things that they are going to come at you with to get you to doubt who you are as a person, to get you to doubt your intentions, so that they can gain control over your subconscious mind again. They might try and guilt trip you, things like, oh, if you loved me, you wouldn't treat me this way, even though they can treat you that way. So again, projecting who they are, they want to treat people badly but expect people to treat them with kindness. Yet they don't accept you no longer giving in to their demands, so they want to guilt trip you. They will project things onto you, saying that you're being too stubborn, you're sulking, you're trying to control the situation, which is also down to their gaslighting and their blame shifting. Because they're no longer getting their supply, because they're no longer getting their needs met, they are going to come at you any way they can to try and get control back over you. Some will resort to threatening behaviour if they haven't done in the past. This is when you do need to get the authorities involved, because you do need to be careful around those with a lack of empathy. When they are escalating their games, you need to try and find a safe way to put a stop to those games. A good majority of them, when they fear there is going to be consequences to their actions and they're not getting the supply they want from you, will stop and leave you alone. Some will escalate, and this is when you just have to keep reporting and do your best to keep yourself safe. Often with these are the ones where you need to find a way to go no contact. It is on a spectrum. There is some you need to find a way to go no contact, and you might think it's not possible. It is possible. It's just finding the way that works for you. And with many, at some point, they will start to play nice again. Recognise this. This is what they're doing to suck you back in, to feel sorry for them when they come at you with the fake illnesses. They are doing this to pull you back in to their games. They want that supply. We can often, when they start playing nice again, we can often think, oh, well, they're not that bad really. We all make mistakes. We all make errors in judgment. And then as soon as you're thinking like that, bam, they've got you right where they want you again. And the cycle repeats. Don't fall for it. Changing your perception helps on this. If you change your perception to they're being nice to me, if I'm being nice to them, they're going to assume that they have got a chance to come back for the Hoover and rekindle whatever relationship it was that you had with that individual narcissist. But we cannot have that relationship because they've proved who they are, and that's not the kind of relationship I personally would like with somebody. So I can no longer start being nice just because they're playing nice, because then I am leading them up the garden path. It's not like that, but sometimes we have to change our perception to help us step away, because so many people feel cruel when the narcissist is being nice. So many people feel cruel sticking to grey rock and thinking, oh, now I'm being unreasonable. Often gaslighted into you by the narcissist, but many people start thinking, oh, now I'm being unreasonable. And as soon as you give an inch to a narcissist, they will take a mile. So learn from their past pattern of behaviour. When you thought they're about to compromise with you, so you compromise with them, and then 2 weeks later they let you down and prove who they are again. When they start to play nice, recognise it as part of their pattern of behaviour and hold on to your rock. Remember, your grey rock method is helping you heal and move on from them. Grey rock is to diffuse the situation. When they are coming at you, it's not to hurt them or harm them in any way. It's to cut off their supply to diffuse the situation. If you've got a water leak somewhere in the house and you can't quickly sort it out, most people will cut it off by the mains to stop that water leak. This is what you've got to do. A narcissist is all about supply, and they are going to push and prod away at you and your emotions to get whatever their need is. You have got to cut off that supply at the source by no longer giving them any. At the start, retreat, rethink, deal with your emotions, not to the narcissist. Then once you've dealt with your emotions, I'll have the video up here for emotions. Once you've dealt with your emotions, only respond if you absolutely have to do so. If you don't need to respond, don't, because they are not listening to you. They are listening to what they can use against you in the future. The same as defending yourself to them. It's human nature to want to defend our intentions to them. They're not listening, they're not interested. They're just going to pick apart what we say to explain or defend ourselves and use that against us to hurt our feelings or to guilt trip us in some way to get their own needs met. When it comes to grey rock, you are wanting to get the narcissist to believe that you are a really, really dull, boring person. That you've got nothing going for you whatsoever, and that life's really miserable, because narcissistic people are incredibly envious, and they're envious of lots of different things. Also, depending on the narcissist, they are envious of many different things. You don't want to give them anything to be envious of, because they are either going to seek to hoover, to exploit you, to get that away from you, or they are going to seek to destroy you. So you want to be really, really boring and give them absolutely nothing. Because the more you try and explain to a narcissist, the more they will play dumb over those explanations, and the more they will use those explanations to hurt you, to let you down, to provoke your emotions. With a narcissist, it's a big game. Something, criticise them in some way, whether they feel like they've been rejected in some way, often why they might up their games when it comes to grey rock. if they feel like someone's gone against their opinion, gone against their belief, gone against their reality. There is many reasons why a narcissist will feel criticised in some way. Once they've then felt criticised, they have to regain the power and the control by trying to put you in your place. So they are going to then try and bait you somehow into either giving them what they want, whether that's positive attention. They do prefer positive attention, but they'll happily go for chaos and drama. They will happily go for that negative attention because they can use that reaction against you, especially in their smear campaigns. And then once they've got you into that place, they suddenly cheer up. They suddenly seem like everything's okay again. And they keep going and going and going to bring you down to make themselves feel better. So number 1 is be boring. Number 2 is stop explaining your actions to them. The only person you need to explain yourself to is yourself, and explain yourself to yourself first so you know your why, you know why you are doing it. So when the narcissist comes at you, they can no longer take that why away from you because you've not told them why. So 2, don't tell them anything about you, your life, what you're doing, what your intentions are. 3, limited contact, limited communication. If it's all possible, emails, messages, so that you've got a record and so that you've got time to retreat and work out whether you need to respond and watch your responses every term. If it's a family event, try and limit your time around the narcissist. 4, detach your emotions. And this is tricky to begin with, but when you start to understand that it's your emotions that they're after, you need to stop giving it to them. 5, at the beginning, it helps when you're trying to detach your emotions. If you just look over their right ear, or left ear, do not make eye contact with them, because this is often when you can start connecting those emotional feelings. You've got to start detaching from them. So especially at the beginning, no longer make eye contact with them. 6, be boring. 7, don't ask about them. Also, don't tell anything about you. Remember, they are envious. They feel entitled to exploit people. Don't give them your information. 8, be boring. 9, if you've got to have a conversation with them, do not let them take you off topic. Do not let them start denying and switching it around and word salading at you. Do not let them get you to a point where you're defending yourself. Stick to the topic of conversation. If they are not willing to continue the topic of conversation, then just say, okay, leave it, nothing else. Or things like, yeah, no. Depending on the kind of narcissist you are dealing with, you can, with some, it's not recommended with all, but with some you can say, I understand how you feel, I don't feel the same way. So you're validating their feelings. I understand how you feel, and you're letting them know you don't feel the same way. They're not going to recognise that. They are still going to continue down whatever word salad they're throwing at you to get their own way. That is when you have to walk away. 10, never explain to them how you feel. As soon as you've said to them, I feel upset, I feel hurt, you've hurt the children, you've done this, you've made me feel, they know exactly what feelings to use against you. And the same as saying, I'm feeling a bit, I feel. If you're not giving them responsibility for your feelings, if you're just saying that I feel like this, they are going to use those feelings against you. Your feelings aren't to tell someone who's willing to exploit your feelings how you feel. Your feelings are for you to recognise and see what you need to do with your actions, with your perception, with your approach to help you with your feelings. no longer allowing them to have control over your feelings. Your feelings are for you. Yes, people can coercively control. That's why we have the words. That's why people can manipulate people into feeling a certain way. We have to become aware of our feelings and deal with them internally, or with people who would be there for us as we would for them. Be boring. 12, keep things short and simple. 13, be boring. 14, be as dull as a rock. I know I've repeated be boring several times, but you have to become really, really boring. Narcissists don't like boring people. It doesn't matter whether you're boring or not. To a narcissist, you have got to become that boring grey rock. Know your why. Know and understand why you are doing it. Recognise what happened last time you didn't do it. Last time you did try and explain yourself to them, or explain your feelings to them, or explain how they've hurt somebody, or explain how their actions have upset somebody. Remember how they reacted last time. So know why you are now implementing grey rock, so that when they come at you, you can check in with your why and not their manipulation. Recognise they live in their reality. They don't want to even understand your reality. And no matter how much you try to understand theirs, they are not going to be willing to understand yours. You have the capabilities to understand where they're coming from, so that you can distance yourself and start doing things like no contact or grey rock. They don't have that same level of awareness that you do. And to be fair, most of us didn't when we're in the situation and we're getting gaslighted every day. We're not aware of who they are or what they're doing to us. Once we are, we have the power to take back control of our own thoughts and our own feelings. Keep your personal standards high. Keep your expectations of them and their ability to communicate low, so that they can no longer cause any sort of frustration, anger or resentment within you. Keep your expectations of them low, but keep your standards and your boundaries as high as they need to be for you. Learn your boundaries, your values and beliefs, and no longer allow people to step over those. Heal any old wounds so that they no longer can bait you with the things that matter to you the most. They can still matter to you the most. Just make sure the narcissist cannot do anything to bait emotional reactions from you. They might be able to provoke those emotions within you. Just don't give those emotions to the narcissist. Cut off the supply and work with people who can help you through. Humour. Sense of humour really does help, whatever that humour is to you. Even if it's sometimes the unbelievability of how believable narcissistic people can do. It's very difficult to feel angry or frustrated or hurt or let down when you are laughing. So find your sense of humour, whatever that is for you. If anyone has any tips on what helped them do grey rock, again, please do add that into the comments. I shall add into the description the other video I did on grey rock, because sometimes we just have to hear things said in a certain way for it to click or to help. And grey rock is a technique, and with anything in life, some people get it quicker than others. It's a learning curve that we have to be able to implement for ourselves in a way that works for us. I shall also add the mind games that narcissists can play, so you can become more aware of the mind games they do come at you with. The online courses, which are basically just giving a step-by-step guide of how to go no contact or grey rock, what the disorder is actually all about, and different methods for recovery will also be in the description. I am full for one-to-one coaching. I have partnered with BetterHelp. and their sponsored link is also in the description. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope everyone has an amazing day, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. So go out there and create that amazing day for you. Bye.